So not too long ago, I did a video of 100 random PS3 games that I bought off eBay, which is really fun to see like what we got in the unboxing. But so now we've got 200 games, and it could be anything. It doesn't matter what platform it is. It could be PS3, PS2, PS1, Wii, GameCube, Xbox, Xbox 360. There's a lot of things we could get in this little haul that we got here, so let's unbox these things and see what we get. And as you can see, we do have Melissa here right now, which is great. She's always really the star of the show. Can't really fault her for that. She's a lot better to look at than me. So for this box, you remember the last one we paid $2.91, I believe, which averaged out to $2.91 per PS3 game. This one I paid $329, I believe, and I think the quick math on that one right before I filmed this was it comes out to about $1.65 per game, which is even cheaper than the listing before. So certainly that'll be pretty fun. But the listing does say, for this particular amount of games, definitely wholesale value. There's going to be sports games. There's going to be duplicates. They're not picked out in any way, shape, or form, so there's no guarantee about really what we're going to get. I'm also not really sure why each box says 100 DVDs, because we didn't buy DVDs, we bought video games. But, oh, there we go. We got a lot of stuff. Melissa, you're going to have to move, sweetie. What's funny about that last video is that so many of my subscribers really enjoyed that video, and they're like, oh man, you know, you should do more unboxings and things like that. And so that's what we're doing now, but the video kind of went a little viral. And everyone's like, oh man, he's complaining because he doesn't like all the broken box art and cases and whatnot. Alright, maybe I was complaining a little bit. I don't think I did, but I guess looking back, I was bitching a lot. The thing is, I mean, when you're a collector, like if you like having a shelf of physical games and things like that, I mean, obviously you care about that kind of stuff, so that's why, you know, I was like making comments about the video. Oh man, look at all this box art. Not really doing all that well. But it's like, you know, the games are a dime a dozen. If you want to buy a particular copy of the game just for the sheer fact of playing it, that's all well and good. You can go get it, no problem. It's cases and box art that are harder to come by, especially with the longer age of a game. So we got some 360 games. We got some PS2 games up in here. We have our cases and box art, which is good. I mean, this one for sure, I wasn't like, you know, like we got American Idol 2 Encore up in here. Am I going to play that? Probably not. You, here, have American Idol. Yeah, NBA Live 08 for the Wii. For the Wii. I was expecting a lot of Wii and a lot of DS, and so that's what we're getting so far here. And because we're at 200 games, I'm really going to have to move through these. No organizational skills whatsoever. We'll do a final count and whatnot like I did before. But the other interesting thing about this haul is that in this listing, the seller says that none of the games are tested, right? So because they're a wholesaler, they can't really logistically test every single game. They'd have to have all these platforms plugged in. Ooh, this is a very nice Uncharted. So, and I understand that. So what I'll try to do, and that'll obviously be, it'll be all in one video, but I'll have to film it separately. Yes, I love Rockstar Table Tennis, dude. This game's great. Is that I will test all these games separately, and that's 200 games, and you know, some of these platforms I don't even have plugged in anymore. We got Connected Ventures up in here. Probably gonna give that a fun little go on a Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? What is this sealed? A sealed copy of Biggest Loser on the DS? Or is it? I think we have a sealed copy of Biggest Loser. Man, now look at that. That's not a bad little pull out of a random games unboxing. We got Power Drone. We've got Serious Sam 2. Got Brother in Arms. My apartment's rather small, so I have a lot of my games and a lot of my older platforms in storage. So it's gonna be a pain in the ass to try and find some of this, like some of the platforms for the. Well, I know where my 360 cords are. In fact, my living room, behind my couch in my living room, is more or less storage because I pretty much work out of my bedroom so much. You guys know I do all my YouTube videos here in my bedroom normally, and so I don't really spend too much time. A lot of Kinect games. I don't spend too much time in my living room, and it got to the point where I kept buying so much stuff, and yeah, I gotta look into getting property soon. The thing is, I know I'm not gonna stay in this state that long, so that's why I haven't really gotten involved in property too much. I think we already have. We got 2 iToys there. You know what? I really love Tiger Woods 06. This version in particular. I don't know why. I believe it was Tiger Woods 06 where. Or no, maybe it was 04. It was Tiger Woods 04 where you could, in the mainline sort of campaign of Tiger Woods, you could make an evil or a good golfer, and there would be like a side picture of the stats and No, I'm thinking of NASCAR, actually. It was NASCAR 2004. Don't ask me why I played these ridiculous, mundane games. A lot of people also got upset because I was like, oh yeah, sports games aren't worth anything. I understand people like sports games. I'm not knocking sports games, but it's like, again, the collection, physical games aspect of it. Wait, hold on. Ooh, DBZ. The physical games collection aspect of it is that sports games just aren't really worth that much. Typically a year after they're out in the market, they're worth a few dollars at the most. But what's funny is that when I filmed that video, I sent a text to my buddy. I was like, yo, so I did that video. Got, about 20 or so odd sports games and what have you. Ooh, a Sega Dreamcast game. There we go. That's a little gem in there, huh? I mean, it's NBA, but Dreamcast game. That's always a little cool. I don't have that many Dreamcast games. Anyway, I was texting my buddy, and Shrek Smash Crash Race. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by some of these. Anyway, I told my buddy, I was like, yeah, I got like 20 sports games or so. And he was like, oh, did you get any, I think it was NCAA. And I was like, yeah, I think I got 1 or 2 of those. And he was like, oh, which one'd you get? Because NCAA 11 is worth like $40, $50. And I was like, what? That's really weird. That's really bizarre. That's the cat knocking over the games. But sure enough, I did a quick price check, and I was like, oh yeah, that's weird. So you never know. But usually most sports games aren't worth that much. Rock Band PS2, ATV, that's a fun game. I always enjoyed that. By the way, this floor is looking like shit now. I'm not even stacking them up. I'm just kind of tossing them needlessly. Ooh, I see Halo 3. The Sims, wow. Love The Sims, Halo 3. Cooking Mama, yeah. See, this is actually, so I've actually been commenting on the games and just kind of talking, but man, this is actually really good. Pinball, I like pinball games. Blazing Angels, I also enjoy Blazing Angels. This is actually really good. Now, I praised the value in the first game, the first video. I'm not sure if I want to praise 200 games, because that kind of took a while the first time. But man, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Brain Age, that was one of those early entry DS games. I think we already got Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare, but then Modern Warfare 2 shows up. Epic Mickey, I've actually never played this. Heard a lot of good things about Epic Mickey. Hitman 2, Tetris Worlds. Oh, another dual pack. Triple Play 2002, never even heard of that. Wii Fit Plus, very cool. Let's see, we've got Cabela's, SpongeBob, Halo Combat Evolved, yeah. Sega Bass Fishing. We're getting a lot of Wii stuff, which is fine though. I didn't really have a whole lot of Wii. And then, like, the Wii's full of shovelware, admittedly, and that's kind of what we're getting on the Wii stuff. But again, not some bad pulls from Wii. Cooking Mama and Epic Mickey, those are good games. Cars, Shaun White Snowboarding, Madden 06, Madden 12. Yo, yes! I was really hoping we would get one of the Burger King games. That's so cool. Because I actually never had these. And I actually really love me some Burger King. I'm not going to front. I really like Burger King when I'm not trying to stay healthy. I don't mind getting a little double Whopper with cheese and bacon. It's kind of that shitty lifestyle I like to live sometimes. Sometimes you just have shitty nights like that, man, where you got to go to Taco Bell or BK at like 12 o'clock at night. Get yourself some food that makes you feel some type of way. We got Pac-Man World 2, FIFA 12, FIFA Soccer 12, that's weird how they write that. Desert Storm. We're almost done with our first box here. Tiger Woods 3 and Tiger Woods 5. Still haven't seen 4, which is the game that I played. And that's our first box already. And Melissa's down there sniffing up all the games. Let me get a video of what I got going on here. Melissa, what are you doing? How about some DDR? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Not gonna lie though, if I am allowed to bitch a little bit, I was hoping for a good amount of PS1 games. Even if they were, buzz little sports games or what have you. I mean, I love bolstering my PS1 collection, even if it's just like arbitrarily. I just love those jewel cases on my shelves. Let's see what box number 2 has. I think we got to go through this a little bit quicker because I really don't want a 20-minute video. I know something like this takes a while to make, or takes a while to kind of go through in a somewhat orderly fashion. Oh, hold on, let me fix this. And just so you all are aware, Melissa is now getting into the other box, because that's what cats do. I don't even know what the hell this is. Snowboarding game? Some sort of unknown sport. Another Wii Fit. Connected Ventures. NHL. ATV. Mega Man. That's always a good... Yeah, the Anniversary Collection. Nothing wrong with Mega Man at all. Always. Is this Fanavision? Yeah, dude, we got Fanavision. A very classic launch PlayStation 2 game. This actually used to be a... hold on. I like having this bright. That used to be a tech demo for the PlayStation 2 before it got turned into a final game. Sony does that a lot, you know. They do all these tech demos for their new hardware, and it's like they just don't want to waste those assets, and then they just decide, all right, well, let's just make it a full game so we can, you know, not waste all this money on R&D and resources. Like, let's just sell it as a full game and recoup a little bit of those costs back. Is this PS1 finally? Yes, we got the Namco Museum. Great. I think I already have a black label of that. We've got Cool Borders 3. Go figure, though. Yeah, I'm going to complain. I get greatest hits labels, and yes, I don't like the greatest hits labels. Especially those disgusting red cases on PS2, PS3 games. Ugh. But we've got... I'm not going to lie, dude. I'm not going to front. This is actually a pretty good box. I think this is actually going much better than the Need for Speed Carbon on the Wii. I think this is going much better than the 100 PS3 games. And it's like a lot of those games came from that like random ass store that was you know, if the game was like missing box art, they would print it out or whatever. And yes, you know, some of the plastic and whatnot's destroyed on these, but whatever, man. It's still, you know, like every piece of box art's there. We're looking good. We're looking clean. Somebody, I think. And the comments are funny, I'm not going to lie. I have no problem with some dislikes, you know what I'm saying? I think it makes me a better YouTuber. Makes it makes it fun when you see those top comments with a bunch of thumbs up. I think somebody called me a sociopath. I don't know. I don't think I have the tenacity to be a psychopath. Prince of Persia. Wii Fit Plus, again. Nothing wrong with a little bit of Wii Fit. You can never be too healthy. If I'm being honest. Melissa's making a lot of... I hope this isn't coming up too much. I don't have the best audio quality on this channel. I gotta apologize. For a second, I was hoping this was Dance Central. Dance Masters. Because you know what? I think it's fair to say, but like I didn't play a whole lot of Connect on the original 360. I think a lot of hardcore gamers didn't because it was just kind of a... You know, that was like a dark time for Microsoft where they started taking 360 in a pretty poor direction. Look, you've got Madden 15 with Connect support. Better with Connect. Ain't nobody who's playing Madden wants to use Connect. Maybe I'm wrong, you could tell me, but I think I speak for a lot of gamers when I say, you know, we weren't really into that whole Connect stuff. But Dance Central was like the one game where I'm like, you know what, I honestly think that was kind of cool, and I would certainly play that. Dance Central was on 360, right? It wasn't on Xbox One? Sorry, my memory is really escaping me nowadays. That's why sometimes I try to... If there's cuts in a Let's Talk PlayStation or something, it's usually because I fact-check myself real quick. I usually try to do a lot of that stuff on the fly, like, you know, because I try to remember all my knowledge of the games industry, but sometimes you just forget. Deca Sports Freedom. Yeah, there's a lot of Connect games in here. Planes. How many Wii Fit Plus do we get? I think this is like our 4th or 5th one. Ooh, is this a Metal Gear Solid? Metal Gear Solid 2, Substance, yes. NHL 12, and I don't have this on Xbox. Only PlayStation 2. Salt Lake 2002, FIFA Soccer 11. Melissa is climbing all over these games. That's alright. We're having a good time. I'm just now realizing our Skycam was probably a little bit off. I've just fixed that. Sorry. NBA 10. Spider-Man. I think we got a replay. Disc is... Oh, wow. That was... The box art's for Wii Play, but we got Wii Carnival games. Yes! NBA, Assassin's Creed. You know what? I just did not like the first Assassin's Creed. And that one game turned me off of the whole franchise. And I know I have to give it another try because so many people like some of the more recent Assassin's Creeds like Odyssey. Oh, also, Big Mother Truckers. I remember commercials for this game on Toonami, was it? There was like a lot of commercials for that game. Disney Infinity has seen better days on 360. Big Game Hunter. Another 2 Wii Fits in a row, son. You know what's also interesting is that most of the Wii Fits are also in pretty good condition too. Man, people really took care of their Wii Fits. We looked at those. Madden 08, Wii Sports Resort. Don't think I ever had that one as well. Down to the wire, people, and I see another Hannah Montana on Wii, which is great because Final Fantasy 11. Because we had a Hannah Montana on PlayStation 3, and I was genuinely excited to add that to my collection. Jillian Michaels, Ultimate Fitness. Another Connected Ventures. Race driving. Tiger Woods. Oh, there's 04. There it is, Hannah Montana Spotlight Tour. Is this actually a different game then? I think that's a different game. Don't know how many games Hannah Montana has. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting a lot more. A Black Label Championship Motocross. There's Melissa. Only 3 PS1. That's the only thing I was hoping for, more PS1 games. GT2. Almost dropped it, Jesus Christ. And I got another Connected Ventures, unless I already looked at that. Skylanders, MW3, Dangerous Hunt, Doom, Madden, NBA 2K13, MVP, Star Wars Clone Wars, and to top it off, Madden 2003. That is 200 video games, I hope. The listing did also say that they usually like to include a bunch of extras as well. Let's get these games stacked up here. Alright, so here it is, 200 random games off eBay. Paid $325 for this. For $329, again, the math came out to about $1.60 per game, which is not terrible at all. Although this same eBay listing is now up to $395. I believe the seller increased the price on it. Still not bad. That's under $2 per game, more or less. And I think this was way better. Greater variety of games. Yeah, there's probably more sports games and a lot more duplicates, but that's fine. Hand them off to friends, this, that, and the other. A good way to bulk up your collection if you're looking into getting games on the cheap instead of cherry picking out the games that you want. But what we're going to do right now, actually, is I'm going to go through everything off camera, see the variety, how many duplicates, this, that, and the other, and give you some stats about our haul. Alright, so I just finished going over everything, and in total we've got 2 DS games, 1 Dreamcast, 4 PS1, 55 PS2, 11 PS3 games, 3 GameCube, 50 Wii, 52 Xbox 360 games, 14 of those requiring Kinect, and 24 Xbox games for a total of 202 games, so 2 more than I actually paid for. Out of those 202 games, 43 of those games were sports games. For our duplicates, we've got 4 times Wii Fit, 3 Wii Fit Plus, 3 Wii Plays, 2 Just Dances on Wii, 2 times GTA 3, and 7 copies of Connected Ventures. By far, original Xbox had the best pulls with mostly original beloved games like MGS2, Far Cry, DBZ, Need for Speed, Max Payne, Forza, Halo, Doom, Serious Sam, and the Mega Man collection. Overall, this was an incredible deal, I find, when it only worked out to $1.65 per game. All these games were in great condition, all playable. Of course, it's a mixed bag and you don't really know what you're going to get, but I think this was a great way to get a lot of games for a very affordable price. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for the best PlayStation news, reviews, and updates here on YouTube, but also other video game stuff like what you just saw right here. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you all in my next video, and you take it easy.